people. Man, I woke up this morning cold up in the bed. Dog licking me in the face with a sore throat. I said, oh man, I don't feel well. I got things to do today. I got up, I made my coffee. I'm late. Shoo, I'm running late. My customer, he done told me once or twice that if he wasn't there at the place at 9 o'clock this morning, that you come looking for him at the church. I ain't got time for all that. You need to be at your place at the time of appointment. That way when I get there, we can get down to business. Look out, truck, you're gonna wreck. Gotta stay on the road, son. So anyway, I get up, I run out, feed the chickens, got my coffee brewing while I'm feeding the chickens. Wash my face. And I got plenty of time to make it. So I'm thinking my sore throat goes away after I get something to drink. It's just hard sleeping. No, when I snore a lot, I get a sore throat sometimes. Man, this truck driver is just all over the road. So anyhow, I passed that on by. And I haven't tasted anything this morning because I hadn't eaten anything. All I did was drink that tea, and I wasn't looking for a taste of that tea. I was just, trying to wake up, take my blood pressure medicine. So just before I walk in the store, I'm getting my gas, and I walk in the store to get me something to drink, get my morning Red Bull, get me a sausage sandwich from the Spitfire Grill. Well, I told the lady, I said, I wasn't hungry until I walked in here, and she said, and the smell of that food just knocked you down, didn't it? I said, what? Honestly, I didn't smell nothing, but I got a cigarette hanging out of my mouth, too. I can't smell nothing but cigarette. Forgive my language. So, I think to myself, oh, man, I got COVID. No. Of course, we just went to city night out last night downtown at the square. Yeah, we was around hundreds of people. Over the weekend, we was at the carnival over in Lufkin at the VFW. We was around thousands of people over there. I might have the COVID. Well, shoot. So I get in the truck. I'm driving down the road, and I said, dang, do I got COVID? Well, I need to see if I can smell something. I popped open my Red Bull and smelled of it. Sure enough, it smells like a Red Bull. Took a big drink of it. It tastes like a Red Bull. Well, anyway, since I've had my morning COVID test, I guess I'm clear to go. They say now they got a magic pill for that COVID. I don't know. Before COVID, I get sick about twice a year. Once in the spring, once in the fall. My cough usually lasts 2 or 3 months afterwards because I smoke. I smoked since I was 12. I ain't gonna quit. They're nearly $10 a pack. I ain't gonna quit. comes down to it, the outlaw, I'm going to grow my own. But so, anyway, here we go. Today I'm going over to work on a log splitter. Man says it's a brand new machine. We'll find out. Brand new machine that they bought it and they run it a little while. They didn't need it, so they ain't used it. It won't run. I'd be more than willing to bet that it's got carburetor problems. The carburetor has done got dirty. How does it get dirty? Well, gasoline sits in there and it turns into, depending on what kind of gasoline you got in there, it'll turn into anything from a varnish-like substance to a baking soda looking substance. And just gums up. One little port on the carburetor gets dirty or gets gummed up. Nothing get through it, but it ain't gonna act right. Here we go. We're going. Oh Lord, this truck driver can't stay in his lane. I'm gonna go around him anyway. Passing so. Clean carburetor on a log splitter this morning. Get this farmer happy again where he can split some wood, keep himself warm this winter. You know, it's something I've always wanted and I've never had one. Really never. I've only had the need for one time, and that was a few years back. I burned. I had a house that had yes, listen to this. I had a house in Texas now. I burned 4 cords of firewood, and my electrical bill between the month of November and March averaged $390 a month, and I burned 4 cords of firewood in a fireplace. Needless to say, that big old fireplace, I had it rolling. And I feel for those people who live up north that truly have to burn firewood for only source of heat. And lots of folks do it. I have a gas furnace now. I think my gas bill was, during that cold snap when nobody had any heat, I had heat. My central unit didn't work because we didn't have no electricity for for about 10 or 12 hours. But we did have that big old Dearborn heater that I own. It's been there for years and years. It paid for itself.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
Because all of my folks was without electricity, and there was 6 inches of snow on the ground right here in East Texas.
At the stop sign, turn left onto State Highway 304 loop.
GPS tells me go left. I know good and well you don't go left here. It's closer to go this way. Come on, dude. If you're going, go. Four-way stop sign. Oh, I could grapple about a four-way stop sign for days and days. People don't know how to.
In 4.5 miles, turn right onto West Navarro Road.
Treat a four-way stop sign. It's first come, first served. But anyway, I gotta run in up here at O'Reilly's. It's gonna push me about 5 minutes late getting my job. But I gotta stop at O'Reilly's and grab some spark plugs because I know good and well that once I get out here to this place, it's gonna be a 20-minute drive back into town. And I know what kind of spark plug it should take. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go, and we'll catch you on the flip-flop. All right, I've already got my fuel line pinched off. Got my gas turned off here at the gas tank. I need to remove the fuel line. I like my long needle nose for this. I usually can get in some pretty tight places with them. You get in there and just tinker with them. Yeah. Alright. It's a 10 millimeter. Gonna get it started like that. Alright, then you got your linkage. Just kind of maneuver it around. Use your long pliers to get in. You can see your spring. Tiny hole. Alright, and that little carburetor's off of there. Alright, so we got a gasket stuck on it. The interior gasket. So I've got a really sharp pocket knife that I use, and I'll work it around until I find an edge that is loose. There we go. I just kind of work the tip of that knife underneath it, and then I get it on the cutting angle. You would rather cut into the aluminum and mess up your knife blade than cut into your gasket. Oh, boy, that gas stinks. Just keep working with it. Fantastic. So we got a complete gasket. All right, we know which side goes to the carburetor. I'm gonna remove any gasket material that's left on the carburetor. Oh, boy, that gas stinks. All right, I'm gonna set this over here for right this minute. While I'm in the tear down mode, I'm gonna go ahead and take the gas tank loose. You got two 5/16 bolts right here. Two 10 millimeters right here. I use a wobble socket to get in those spots. Now, we don't really know exactly what we're going to discover up underneath that tank. So you always want to pay attention to what's going on and pull that tank out of there. Oh, we got a 5/16 right there. Yeah. All right. Pair of pliers that might work. We'll take it big. There we go. Just slide over. All right. Got up under there. It's 2 more 10mm shoulder heads. All right. Now we can remove that tank. Look at there. Nothing else is attached to it. All right. I'm gonna set this over there. We're gonna clean the gas tank, clean the carburetor, and there's a piece of bark up in there, in between the governor and the doohickey. We're gonna put a new spark plug in it, put it all back together, split some wood. Just doing one carb today, so we're just gonna use one basket. We'll set it right there. It's a pretty simple carburetor. Shouldn't be no adjustments to be made, but it still takes the same length of time to clean this carburetor as it does to clean a big carburetor. It's a 1/2 inch wrench on the bottom. Bottom has a red gasket. Oh man, can you see that? Oh, it's putrid. Okay, see, we got some stuff in there, some gel. It's green, it's done grew algae. There goes our float pin. Okay. We got a rubber tip needle. So that means we got a brass seat, and we'll pull this O-ring off of here. To do that, I use a pick. I get up underneath the very bottom of it. I do not stick the pick in it. I roll it until it gets under it. And then I just kind of ease it around until it comes loose. Don't look like there's going to be anything fall out of there. I'm not going to move the choke flap or the throttle flap because they're set good. They're working good. They don't need to be set. There's no other ports that need to be moved. Simple carburetor. All right. Now, I got one small jet here. In fact, I need to run a wire through there. Where? I've had this a long, long time. All your orifices need to be clear. They don't need to be clean, but they need to be clear. So the wire can get through it. If a wire can get through it, fluid can get through it. If a carburetor cleaner can get through it, the faster it can clean it, the better it can clean it. So we're looking for a brand new clean, okay? That little wire there, we'll get in there, and you just want to clear it. Don't break that wire off. If you break that wire off, you're in trouble. So that all those passages there are open. Put my wire back in there for posterity. Let's see. Got a small hole here. Just make sure that it's clean. Small one there. If you need to measure, you can measure with that wire. All right. Everything's open all the way through the venturi. That one had just a little bit of obstruction in it. Puppy is all the way in there, so good deal. Everything seems to be open. So I'm gonna put this in my chem tool dip and let it sit for a couple hours and clean itself. Clean, be right back. You hear me fall down. Air compressor runs good. I'm sure I'm proud of the way that rebuild job went. You want to see that video? Go back and look at my video. Chemical seal, tank shaft removal and replacement, and enjoy the video. There's a couple test runs on there. First couple times I'll run it afterwards, and anyway, we're gonna clean this gas tank, and I'm not gonna bore you with that. We're gonna take and dump it out. We're gonna put a little bit of fresh gas in it, clean it out, and see how that does. If it don't clean it up, I got some more of this stuff here. It's called methyl ethyl ketone, or better yet, MEK. And this right here will melt the paint off of just about anything. And so be very careful with it when you use it. I wouldn't recommend it using it on a motorcycle or anything like that, because if you get it on the paint, it is going to damage the paint. But anything plastic, ATV tanks, stuff like that, put it in there, shake it around, and drain it. It'll burn just like gasoline. So anything that's left inside the tank will blend with your gasoline and burn it on out. You could use it to clean carburetors with, but if you've got a really bad carburetor, you can clean it with it, but it's not cost effective. Let's just say that. That's $29 a gallon. So whenever you pour it in the gas tank, you want to make sure that you get as much of it out as you possibly can, strain it, and reuse it. All right. Hey guys, I'm gonna bring y'all back when I start putting this back together. Later. Okay, I'm back. I got the gas tank cleaned out. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall it. So whenever my carburetor gets through soaking, all I have to do is plug it in and let it rip. Looks pretty clean down in there. We're just going to set that in place. We got 4 shoulder bolts that hold it in place. We'll get them all started. Okay, our 10 millimeter. Fall out. So now on this side over here, you gotta have a wobble and an extension to get to them. So we're gonna get that all together. And the way to use a wobble is you hold your hand on it like that. Be very careful not to pinch yourself. It will happen. You can hold it kind of straight. Back in place. Now, whenever I had this part, I noticed that you got a part here that sits flat against the engine. All right. So it slides in there. And it should make that surface. All right. Well, that can't go on until the carburetor goes back on. All right. So I'm just at the mercy of time. I guess I could fill up the gas tank and close it off with the pliers and put the cap on it. And that part will be done too. So we'll be ready to crank it up as soon as we get the carburetor installed. Brand new gas bought today. Put in about a half a tank in there. That should do everything we want to do. We got gas flowing through the line, making a mess. Let's get our pliers here. These are Matco pliers. I bought these 20 years ago. They work great. Okay. Gas tank's clean. Installed. Just waiting on the carburetor now.
to put the check in Lone Star Mobile Mechanic or your name?
Put it in Lone Star Mobile Mechanic.